Ladies and gentlemen, over the past few months, I feel like the Nintendo Switch 2 has really started hitting its stride. Like, sure, there's still some games that we're all searching for or waiting for, but every single month we are getting some heavy hitters, and July of 2026 is arguably the best month of this year. This month is stacked full of great Switch 2 games, and I'm going to tell you the ones you need to know about. So let's go and get right into this video. So July is truly stacked from start to finish. There's so many great games coming out. We're going to be talking about like 90% Switch 2 games, but there is a few Switch games thrown in as well. Regardless, this month has some amazing games that we need to talk about. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Truly. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our communities growing. And let's just go and get right into this one. So the first game we're talking about is High on Life 2, and this is releasing for the Nintendo Switch 2 on July 1st. Use your talking guns and skateboard to take down an intergalactic conspiracy. You've done it. You've taken down an intergalactic cartel, brought humanity back from the brink of extinction, and hunted dangerous bounties to the far corners of the galaxy. Bounty hunting has brought you fortune, fame, and love, but when a mysterious figure from your past reappears and puts a price on your sister's head, your cushy life gets thrown into chaos. So admittingly, I thought the first High on Life game was going to be something I just didn't care about. It was not going to be for me, and it's just one of those games you don't end up playing. But I ended up playing it thinking, well, I'm sure I'll find something to do for a few hours, and then I beat the entire game, and I was pleasantly surprised. So I'm very happy to see that they made a sequel to High on Life, and even more happy that it's appearing on the Switch 2. So this is one of those games that just feels like it's going to be a treat to play through handheld. Now, I can't say for sure, but it feels like Rhythm Heaven Groove could quite possibly be the last Nintendo Switch exclusive. Yes, obviously this is a game you can play on the Switch 2 as well, but technically, and not even technically, like officially, it's just a Nintendo Switch game. And it feels weird because we had almost a full decade of Nintendo Switch games. And you just felt like, well, games are going to release for the Nintendo Switch like forever, indefinitely. So knowing Nintendo, they could have a few other games they're sitting on that will release for the Nintendo Switch. But it really seems like Rhythm Heaven Groove will be the last Nintendo Switch exclusive. So whether you're playing this on your Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. And luckily, there is a demo for this game. Rhythm Heaven Groove is releasing on July 2nd. One of my most anticipated games, just in general right now, is Digimon Story Time Stranger. So I've been playing Pokemon since the beginning and watching Pokemon, but also playing Digimon and watching Digimon. And when I was younger, you know, Pokemon is so popular now, but when I was younger, I remember Digimon was the cooler Pokemon. And I remember playing this Digimon game on the PlayStation 1 just non-stop. I don't even think I really ever beat it, but I just remember playing it non-stop. And Digimon has always had so much potential. We have got some pretty cool Digimon games here and there, but when Digimon Storytime Stranger was first revealed, I remember thinking, that's it. Like, they finally figured it out. They finally made exactly what we've been waiting for. And when the game came out, the reviews were high and people really loved this one. Now, it just felt like a game that would inevitably come to the Switch 2. But you never really know. You know, some stuff feels like it's certain and then it never happens. But luckily, this game did get announced for the Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like this is also coming to the Nintendo Switch. But obviously, I'll be picking this up on my Switch 2, and I cannot wait to play through this one. Again, this game does have a demo. Me personally, I'm not going to play the demo because I know it's just something I'm going to enjoy and I just want to experience it all at once. But if you are on the fence about this one, there is a demo as well as some DLC, so you might want to do a little research before picking this one up. Oh yeah, that game is releasing on July 10th. Now let's talk about a really unique game called TEETO, and this is releasing July 15th for the Nintendo Switch 2. Explore a world of mayhem and Michaels. Join TEETO, the Blob, and Nori the Bunny in this 3D adventure platformer to stop the shadow corruption from spreading. You need to absorb and transform. TEETO's got a talent from absorbing all sorts of objects and turning them into wild new forms. With Nori's powered backpack, they unlock unique abilities to outsmart enemies, solve puzzles, and discover hidden secrets. Mix it up, get creative, and see what strange new powers you'll unleash. So ever since I learned about this game, I've had my eye on it. I cannot get enough of whimsical and wacky 3D platformers, and honestly, it feels like you need to go out of your way completely to make a bad 3D platformer. So this one really looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, so I cannot wait to check this one out. Now let's talk about DENSHATTACK, which is coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2 on July 15th. And what's crazy is I remember putting this in last month's video about games coming out in June, but I guess the game got delayed by a month, which is, you know, it is what it is, but I've been wanting to play this since I first learned about it. And what's interesting is I received an email like 3 or 4 days ago from the developers asking if I want to check out this game. And in my mind, I was thinking like, yeah, but why? The game probably already came out. But I guess the game was delayed. So I 100% will be checking this out and probably reviewing it on the channel. Flip, trick, and grind your train in a fast-paced, off-the-rails ride through a colorful Japanese dystopia. It is essentially like a Tony Hawk game with trains and other vehicles. It looks insane. It reminds me of the early era of gaming, like Dreamcast era, PS2 era, whatever, and I cannot wait for this one. Now let's talk about a really unique game called GUREI. At least that's how I think it's pronounced. I could be wrong. This is releasing July 23rd, and this is a game coming out on the Switch, but obviously you can play this on your Switch 2 as well. Like I've already checked, it will be compatible with the Switch 2. This is an unforgiving game with precise combat. Fight challenging bosses in any order, acquire their unique powers, and succeed in your own terms. Rei is the main character. You're a human spirit bound with the challenging duty of defeating mythical entities of nature, the kami, to obtain their power. What's awesome is you are free to pick your fights against a kami in any order. The game features a dynamic difficulty system where each enemy's strength is defined by the player's chosen path. This means that some of the very same kami fought at the very beginning could also be the final boss in a different route. So hopefully you pick the right path. So far, I love everything about this game, the gameplay, the art style, the aesthetic, the premise, and I have a feeling this one is going to be a gem. We also have Final Fantasy X/10-2 HD Remaster, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition coming out on July 23rd. And I mean, this is probably my favorite Final Fantasy collection of all time. I love these on the PS2. I never beat them on the Switch. It just felt like there was a couple issues that they needed to fix, and with the Switch 2 edition, they are in fact fixing those issues. Character, monster, and background graphics have all been remade in full HD and boast huge improvements to resolution, featuring fully remastered and arranged music. Additional elements from both games have been fully recreated. There's a high-speed mode, you can turn off random encounters, and other new quality of life features have been added. So now it seems like this is the definitive way to play these on the Switch 2. Personally, I'll probably wait for a sale to pick these up because these are full price, and I don't think there's any upgrade path, and knowing Square Enix, there probably won't be an upgrade path, which, you know, really sucks. But these are some of the greatest games of all time in my opinion, and I just can't wait to re-experience them. So arguably the biggest game coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2, at least exclusive game in July, is Splatoon Raiders, and this is also releasing on July 23rd. And this game is strange because it feels like something I might like. And the reason why I say that is strange is because I've tried to get into Splatoon multiple times, like 1, 2, and 3. I think the premise is awesome. I think the characters are great. I think Nintendo has something really special there, but it just never really clicked for me. And I remember like a year ago, maybe even longer, saying if Nintendo's ever going to make some spin-offs for the Switch 2, the first one they need to do it for is Splatoon. And they are doing that. And I think they have something really cool here. In this single-player focused adventure, play as a mechanic working with Deep Cut, a trio of swashbuckling musicians, and venture out into the mysterious islands. Customize your character, kit yourself out with mechanical gadgets and ink-splattering weapons, and take on waves of enemies as you raid the island for treasure. One member of Deep Cut will raid alongside you in a powerful bot. You can also join with up to 3 other players online or local wireless. And that last part is confusing to me because this is supposed to be a single player adventure, but you can also play with other people. So I feel like this could have also been like a DLC package for the regular Splatoon games, but maybe this is a way to get other people into the franchise. So I'm not mad at it. It's still just a little confusing to me, but it seems like they have something really special here, and I'm pretty optimistic about it. And on July 30th, we have XENOBLADE Chronicles 2 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. And as far as Xenoblade games go, getting Nintendo Switch 2 editions, the general vibe seemed to be that Xenoblade Chronicle 2 needs it the most, and I don't think I can disagree, because I'm not the biggest Xenoblade fan. I've tried to play Xenoblade X, I've tried to play Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition, and unfortunately it does not click for me. And that really sucks because I am a massive RPG and JRPG fan. It's one of my favorite genres to play. This is Monolith Soft, and I think the work they do is absolutely incredible. It's just like the MMO style of gameplay that just doesn't do it for me. I just don't find it satisfying, and I really hate that. Like, I hate that for myself. But I can step aside and say that Xenoblade games are fantastic. It's an amazing franchise, and I'm very happy that Nintendo has this franchise because they seem to support it as best as they can. And it's awesome that all 3 games are in fact getting Switch 2 editions, because from the outside looking in, it seems like they really could use them. Now, as far as I know, July 30th is a day you can buy this on the eShop, but I'm not so sure about picking it up physical. I think maybe all the physical copies come out at a later date, or I could be wrong. But as of right now, we have Xenoblade X and 1 Definitive Edition, and then we'll have 2 all having Switch 2 editions, and I believe in August or September, Xenoblade 3 will be getting the same treatment. Then all of the games will have Switch 2 editions, and that will lead us into next year when the next Xenoblade game is coming out, which I believe is called Genesis. Ladies and gentlemen, July is absolutely stacked for the Switch 2, and this is just what we know right now, right? There's been a few games rated through trademarks, a few other games leaked out. I'm sure there's going to be some shadow drops or surprise announcements, but as of right now, July is pretty stacked. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys what games you're picking up, what games you're playing, what games are you looking forward to the most to start a conversation. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe on the way out. You know, it takes a click of a button and it really helps out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our communities growing, and consider becoming a channel member, as that is the ultimate way to support this community, and I would forever be into your debt. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.